In this episode, I talk about what kind of content to have on your website and what not to have on your website. Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs out in KPI land, my name's Glen Carlson and this is episode number 17 of KPI Pro Tips. You know what, I'm having a ball with these. It's been a lot of fun, getting a lot of questions, getting a lot of really good feedback. I'm feeling really excited by these. Haven't missed a day yet. I'm shooting for 500 of these things. So it means the world to me when you're interacting, you're asking questions, bantering on Facebook. Also noticing something that's really cool is in terms of how you guys are actually starting to share some of these. You're tagging people in the comments, so that's been a really cool little hack that I've been seeing. So big props to everyone who's been sharing these around, for those of you who feel it's relevant for some of the people you know. Couple of really quick kudoses. The first one is Beth Pal. Beth recently just put on her VA. For those of you that have been listening to me for a while, either on this little show or in KPI land, you know how big I am on delegating things that you're not good at, ideally to a VA. Beth's just gone and done it. She jumped on Upwork. She interviewed like 10 people. She had a deeper interview with 2. She ended up hiring 1. She's just spent the last few days going through and offboarding a lot of that stuff, which if you read her post, is bringing her back into her creative zone, which big kudos for that. Another big kudos to Sam Buckby. So Sam is the founder of Smarter Buildings. He's the author of Homes with a Heartbeat, which is all about how to create a highly functional smart home. Now he's got books, he's got blogs. He's really done a great job in developing the 7-11-4 strategy in his product ecosystem. Recent little win, just landed a $100,000 project where the prospect called up, he'd read the book. Sam was like, oh, maybe we can catch up and have a meeting and see how we can work with you. And the guy's like, no, I'm done. I've read the book. I've checked you out online. We've spent hours researching you. So 7 hours of content, 11 touch points across 4 platforms. And it's working. He's making bank. Kudos to you, Sam. And Sam, because of that kudos, this question is from you, which is all about what is the most essential content that I think should go on a website. And my first answer to that is about context, right? You've always got to be thinking about the context. What is your website for? We live in the age of social, right? So think about the last time you actually went to a website compared to how much time you spend on Facebook or other social sites, whether it's Twitter or it's Instagram. Those are the formats that have people's attention. So trying to then drag someone off that to your site may not necessarily be the best way to go, right? So the first step is context. But if you're sure that that's what you want to be doing, you want to be thinking about what are the main channels you're bringing them in from. Are they coming from Google Search? Are they coming from Facebook? Are you linking from Twitter or from videos or from LinkedIn or a blog? What is the primary mode of content they're going to be engaging with first when they come? Without that context, you're not going to have the empathy with your prospect to actually understand who they are when they first get to your site. So context is number 1. Second thing, capstone pitch. Whenever I think of any kind of formal positioning content that I want to put out in the world, I go back to capstone. First is clarity. On that first fold, so all this has got to happen on the first fold, is it clear exactly what you do and what you're about? Now, Sam, I've gone to your site and it is like big house. You've got all the cool iconography, 2 very clear what you do bits there. So that's great. The next thing you want to bring in, again on that first fold, if you go to our website, certainly our conference sites, you're going to see kudos that we've got from like Inc.com saying we're the world's best personal brand accelerator, or the Huffington Post that say a similar thing, or from the BBC or from the Fin Review or from any of the Financial Times, any of the other media publications that have published or repurposed our content. So when people land on that, they get clarity as to what we do, they get credibility, right? Or it shows that we have authority in the space, capstone, CA. The rest of your website wants to connect with the person looking at it in terms of the problems they're experiencing, clearly articulating these are the types of challenges that we work with people. This is how we solve it. So again, if you're looking at the capstone poster, why, what, how, 3 benefits, ultimate result. And then a clear call to action. And again, Sam, yours is really good. People can go to your website, they can download a free copy of the book, or it's a free portion of the book. That's great. You're not asking for any opt-in details. You're just giving great content. They can scroll down. They can connect to your blog. So I think actually your website is pretty best practice. People should definitely go and check it out. But that's kind of what I'd say in terms of the things that you should have on the website. The things that you should not have on the website is anything that doesn't relate to those things. Anything like the capstone pitch is designed specifically around how people process value, whether that's in a formal pitch, whether that's in a social pitch, whether that's on a website, and you want to try and get as much of that up in that first fold as possible because people's attention is so limited. The most precious resource in the world is humans' attention. So don't assume they're going to scroll down. Don't assume they're going to click on the tabs. It's all going to be delivered there and then, and you want to take that thinking out to your social channels as well. Ladies and gentlemen, KPI land, I would now like to ask you a question. And my question to you is this, really simple question, but I want to start dialoguing more. I want to engage with you guys on the chats, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're watching this on YouTube. Engage in the comments. I'm going to answer every single comment or question personally. So I would love to know, how do you unwind? That's the question from me to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode number 13, and I'll see you tomorrow. I forgot, now I can make it really easy for you to subscribe. I can put buttons up, ding, like this. Subscribe! I gotta get to 500 subscribers or I can't name my channel. You can't have my channel not have a name, it needs a name.